Let's talk Warzone Perk 2. Let's talk about Ghost. Is it really a Crutch perk? What other perks are there? And are they actually any good? Let's discuss it. So we're going to break it down into two sections. Well, a few sections really. Timestamps are in the description. Why Ghost is so strong and what other options are there and if they're viable. Well, then we're going to compare that back to Ghost. Juicy. So we're not really going to mention Overkill. You pick that and from there you grab your free drop and that's Ghost. That's usually how it works. So I'm Shadow's Rain and this is the decision guide. So, Perk 2, the Ghost slot. Very rare you see a second loadout drop which isn't for Ghost. And for good reason too, mind. I have three classifications of perks. We have defensive, aggressive and utility. Ghost is a defensive perk, obviously. You can use it to counter the UAV, you use it so you don't flag up on the UAV, you use it so you don't appear on the heartbeat sensor, and it's kind of a put on and forget kind of perk. You only really think about it when you don't have it, though if you fire without a suppressor, you will be on the map regardless, so bear that in mind. Use this along with EOD and Battle Hardened perks and you have the ultimate defense against the dark arts. You're also being a bit of a cunt. Now, let's talk about the exciting shit. We'll start with my favourite second tier perk, Restock. Official breakdown is that in Warzone, you recharge both your lethal and your tactical equipment over 50 seconds, with the exception of decoy, that's right, decoy grenades and stim. They recharge in 25 seconds, and you can carry a second throwing knife. I thought you could do that anyway, but it's a feature listed with the perk. I like this. It's an ultra aggressive utility hybrid perk that gives you grenades for days, making you ready for any fight. Often been able to restock a piece of equipment over the course of a fight, because we all know them fights. The ones where neither of you want to give up ground, or you're just shite at finishing the fight, but hey, an extra grenade or two might help you out with that, eh? This perk works best when you're using nades that aren't common. Recons and smokes are a good pairing with this, as is decoys. Frags, this is decent on too, and your mines and claymores. I would recommend not using this on Semtex and stun loadouts though, because you're going to find them on those you kill. There's always some idiot on a team who doesn't throw their shit at you at every opportunity. So nick theirs. This perk turns up your aggression level. You don't want to be using this if you're not moving. Not unless you're not looting your kills. But let's be real, you're using Ghost if you're doing that anyway. Pointman is next. Increase the money made on contracts for everybody on your team. Right, there is a lot of confusion about this one, but it's easy. You see, when you pick up a second contract and it says contract 2, 40% bonus. What that'll do is it'll increase that bonus to the next tier as if you're on contract 3. So that would be an 8% bonus and so on and so forth. One person having this perk earns everyone the extra reward. However, the real power in this perk is if all you mad bastards are using it. Because baby, it stacks. Playing trios on contract 2, all 3 of you using Pointman, you wouldn't get an 80% bonus. You'd get a 160% bonus on contract 2. That's where the power of this one hides. Massive power spike early on this one, especially if you get a loadout before you complete your first contract. Guy picks up this and he picks up that perk with the loadout. You hit the final scav and boom, huge advantage. However, this perk will get weaker and less valuable quickly the later the game goes on, and if you're not regularly hitting contracts. It's more powerful on bounties and most wanteds, the higher paying contracts, but early game it is super effective. You can get VSAT money alarmingly quickly and have change for a res. This perk, however, is forever bugged. Sometimes I pick it up and it outright doesn't work. Sometimes it'll just give a flat 100% bonus for everyone, so it is a bit strange. Like, most of the time it works, but there is like the odd occasion where it doesn't. So, yeah. Next up is Hardline. An aggressive perk on multiplayer, but it's a utility perk on Warzone, making kill streaks, field upgrades and plates 25% cheaper for the user only. Not a team affecting perk like Pointman, but it is extremely useful when playing ultra aggressive, as UAVs only cost 3 grand. And if you enjoy snapping up kill streaks, if you are spamming kill streaks, it's a must-have. 25% doesn't sound like a lot, but saving £1,000 might not sound like a lot, but it adds up fast, and you notice it when you don't have it. You don't realise how useful this is until you've used it for a few games and then don't have it. It's a meh. Next up on the perk list is Overkill. You know what this is. We said we weren't going to talk about it. It's carry 2 primary weapons. You know that. First loadout go-to for many people, often used with Ghost being the second loadout. Because it's not in competition with any other perks, it's not getting coverage. Finally, we are going to talk about High Alert. Actually, a really useful tool, and surprisingly quite a good direct replacement for Ghost if you still want that defensive perk, which is used a bit more frequently. So with this one, it's a good indicator as to see when you're in danger. If someone outside your field of view is looking at you, you will get the a subtle yellow highlighted side of that screen. So if it's on the left, your left side of the screen will highlight an orangey color. It's really cool. You don't get an enemy is watching you when you're using Wraith on Apex Legends, but it is still a noticeable indicator as to when you are in danger. So yeah, it's good to make sure you don't get snuck up on. If you don't get shot on sight, this can help save your ass in a magnitude of different situations. And even if they do shoot on sight, it usually gives you that split-second extra reaction time, which is often the difference between getting to cover in time and suffering the knock. So with all these perks, is Ghost Crutch? No, actually, it's not. As long as you're using a suppressor, not having Ghost is not a major disadvantage as you would think. It's only being used during UAVs and people using heartbeat sensors, which if you're moving quickly enough shouldn't be a problem anyway. Yeah, heartbeat sensors are a problem too, but they can't fire when they're using that. And I think, let's just say for example you're 20% more vulnerable if you don't have Ghost. But you make that up for the extra 25% more lethality you have with Hardline, the 30% more utility and potential lethality you have with Restock. Or you can just use High Alert and be notified when somebody who isn't head-on is targeting you, and get that information in real time instead of waiting for general information to say there's a UAV from someone somewhere. But seriously, it's like riding a bike without stabilizers for the first time. Yeah, you'll fall at first. Question if you're ready for this at first, but you'll soon be faster, more useful to your team, and able to play the game in a completely new way, which most people won't be ready for. I think replacing Restock with Ghost, for me, was one of the poorest decisions I've made in my Warzone career. My stats have very slowly but surely went down after doing so, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't. So yeah, that's my thoughts about is Ghost Crutch. Only if you let it be. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. And as always, make sure you hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you all you guys in a bit. Peace.